Again, in this example, I'm going to use similar kind of ideas that I used in the previous one. If you remember, in the previous question, I put the sentences in the right order with the help of the full names and the surname, or nouns and pronouns. And I'm going to apply the same concept in this question as well. Not just that, I will tell you about one more concept, which is a logical continuity concept that will help you to answer other similar questions in the future. If you look at this question here, I can see that there are two sentences which have names, and then there is one more which says, he convinced Professor Fitzgerald, and no link was found, and the women were asked to fill in a questionnaire. So while skimming through these sentences, I have had an idea that this is about research. And that's why now it will be a little easier for me, because I know logically in what order research is done. Now, those of you who are not familiar with the concept of research, remember, you start with a question, you do the study, you collect the data, you analyze the data, and usually you publish your finding or present your finding. So in this case as well, there is a very important clue here. Byron is doctor and Fitzgerald is professor. And here, Dr. Byron has long held that there is a link between diet and acne. He convinced Professor Fitzgerald. He here means Dr. Byron. So first, the name goes here, Dr. Byron, and then he convinces Professor Fitzgerald to do a study. Now, in what order do you think this study will be done? Before you check the answers or watch the rest of the video, try to think in what order this study will be done based on what I told you about research a few minutes ago. Of course, you start with a question, and then you collect the data, you analyze the data, you get the finding, and then you present your findings or publish your finding. And this question, again, will be answered in the same order. So here, first, Professor Fitzgerald studied more than 47,000 women. And how did he do this? He asked these women to fill in a questionnaire about the diet and about their suffering from acne. And so what happened? He studied more than 47,000 women. It just says studied more than 47,000 women. So this one, where it is giving you more specific information, how this study was done, will come after this general information. And because now the study is complete, they will have finding at the end. So this sentence will be the last sentence. So you see that in case of research, you usually have the order as the question, data collection, data interpretation, findings, and after that, if there is another sentence, maybe that will be about presentation or publication of data. So you can see that in most of the reader paragraph questions, it's about grammatical continuity or logical continuity. And what that means is you need to think about in what order you would put the sentences grammatically and logically. Grammatically, you have to look at some grammatical connecting devices like pronouns, linking expressions, use of articles, so that you can see which information comes after the other, or which information cannot come before the other. On the other hand, logical continuity means in your exam, different kinds of paragraphs and passages are used. So a very common type of paragraph, for example, is paragraph about research. And in research, the order is almost all the time same. It starts from a research question, and in order to answer that question, you start collecting data, and then once you have enough data, you start analyzing it, and then you get finding, and then you decide what to do with that finding.